So do you have to ask Trump places you can go to promote or to campaign? What is that relation? How does that work?
Yeah, no, it's actually mostly driven at like the staff level, right? And
so a strategy kind of.
Yeah, it's like strategy. So okay, there are 7 big battleground states. It's the 3 in the Midwest are Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and then Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, and North Carolina. And so it's like you look at a little bit it's driven by polling, a little bit it's driven on just like where do you think this guy's going to do the best. And I've spent a ton of my time, like I think I did like 5 or 6 events just in Pennsylvania the past week and a half.
Wow.
So I've spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania, a lot of time in Michigan, a lot of time in Wisconsin. I'm actually trying to get Kid Rock to go with me to Michigan in a couple days.
Yeah.
Because he's a Michigan guy.
Oh, he'll go.
Yeah, he probably will.
Yeah, he'll go, dude. Yeah.
But anyway, to answer your question, it's basically you go where the campaign needs you to go.
Right.
And like, yeah, I could say no, but I'm like running for vice president, so I try to do as much as I can just to be helpful.
And do you go with Donald Trump? Do you guys go separately a lot of times? Do you guys have like strategy talks in the mornings and stuff? Like, what is it like?
Yeah, it's more informal.
Is it like doubles tennis kind of?
Yeah. It's more divide and conquer, right? So It's like you got 2 people and you can be in 2 places, so you might as well do it. But if we got like a really big event, like, the president got shot in Bucks County, or sorry.
Which time are you talking about?
The first time.
Okay.
The first time.
Because they really.
He got shot in Pennsylvania. And so we went out to Pennsylvania together to do a big rally. And then Elon Musk
Butler?
was there. In Butler,
Butler,
PA, yes. In Butler, Pennsylvania. And then, like I was in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, like a week earlier, but that was just me.
Right.
Right. So you sort of go, some places you go together, but most of the time we're sort of dividing and conquering.
How, with the attempts that they've had on Trump's life and safety, how much of a concern has that been for you? Like, it's like, because if I'm standing next to a guy and they're shooting at him, I'm next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. I mean, I try not to think about it, man, because
really,
yeah, it's one of these things you can't control. And if you're going to do this job, like you got to go out and talk to a lot of people, and you got to go try to win, right? I mean,
right.
Like I fundamentally believe that we're trying to win to help the country. So either you either do it or you don't do it, and if you do it, you just kind of accept it. I mean, I don't think there's, I don't know, maybe this is just me rationalizing it. I don't feel like there's that big of a target on my back, but who the hell knows? 2 separate people have tried to take a swing at this guy in about 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, well, they didn't like Donald Trump, right? Because they wouldn't have tried to shoot him if they liked him. But I wouldn't be, the first guy who went after Trump, I hate to put on the tinfoil hat here, but we've not been unable to get into his phone. We know that he had all these like foreign encrypted apps on his cell phone. It is crazy to me that we don't know the guy's motive.
Yeah.
It's nuts. He almost killed the president.
Yeah.
And we don't know why he did it. We don't know anything about the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, he had a lunchbox or something. It's like the vaguest information they keep putting out about the guy, He'd been using a library card. We're like, who gives a shit?
Exactly. Yeah. His mom's name was Sharon. It's like, great. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. They're like, they're like, oh, he was a Colts fan. You're like, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
that's exactly
right. Give us
right.
the information on the guy. A lot of people are going to vote for him, I think, also because it's just he's the funniest dude they've ever had in there.
He is incredibly funny.
The shit he says is absolutely wild.
He's got a great sense of humor. Can I tell you one story? The first time, not that he had ever met my wife, but the first time President Trump spent any like real time with my wife.
Did he flirt with her or not?
He didn't flirt with her. He was very sweet to her, gave her a big hug, told her she was beautiful. I mean, he's a very engaging guy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Some of the media doesn't tell people about him, but he's a very engaging guy, very easy to talk to. But it's so funny. Like my wife is super diplomatic. And so he asks her, he's like, Usha, what do you think about your husband being involved in politics? And she's, it's nice. I like, supporting him. He really cares about public service, loves the people of Ohio. Just gives a very diplomatic answer. And then he kind of chuckles and says, yeah, my wife hates it too. And it just like broke the ice perfectly. And then she could actually have a conversation with him because she wasn't trying to like talk to the president. Then she was just talking to a guy at that point.
Yeah.
And he's got a very good way about him. And he breaks down those barriers.
Funny stuff, dude.
Man,
At that Al Smith dinner the other night, that shit was good.
Yeah.
I wonder if Tony Hinchcliffe helped him write that or not.
I don't know. It's a good question, but I'm telling you, a lot of this stuff he just comes up with himself. I mean, the line where he was talking about, white dudes for Kamala.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, I forget exactly what he said, but something to the effect of,
but
well, it's okay.
And
their wives and their wives' boyfriends are all voting for Trump.
That shit was pretty crazy, dude.
And like all good jokes, there's like an element of truth to it.
My vest wasn't even rubbed on Lucky Chuck Schumer right there. Huh? Squeeze a couple bucks out of the fucking insurance companies right there.